sorry.
And I'm still setting stuff up too while we do it. Still set up my chat a little bit. It may or may not work. It usually works like 5 minutes after we start. What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's time for this week's Tales from the Crypto with me and the big homie MoKnowz. And Mo is back once again. What's up, Mo? How we feeling this week?
Yes, sir. We are back, brother. What's happening?
Not much, not much. Good to see you in the flesh. Is your mouth feeling better?
Still recovering. Having still a lot of swelling. I got some bone spurs going on, but yeah, figure why the hell not. We'll still trying to work on my camera too. I gotta get a new camera.
Oh, it looks fine to me. Shout out to biggest bros in the chat. Let's go. Big Ace here. Our homies are here hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. The chat should work. I mean, judging by the last couple of streams, it starts working like 5 or 10 minutes after we go live. So I'm going to just let it chill for right now and not try to mess with it and see if it just starts working on its own. I was going to start off with our paranormal topic like usual because there was a big 60-minute show. I don't know if you watched it, Mo, or anybody in the... Oh, you just disappeared. You just
yeah. So I was going to grab my coffee real quick. I'm listening now.
Right on. But 60 Minutes had a big show about UFOs and some new UFO footage being released by the military, as we always hear. But of course, we can't watch any of the stuff from... there, it is working. Let's go. From the 60 Minute show because... They'll take that right down. You can't do that. Shout out to Alejandro's in the chat. What's up, Alejandro? Good to see you, my man. Man, my chat's a little large today, but all right, we'll deal with it. But I was going to say, we could just look up live together and just see what kind of new UFO videos have been dropping on Twitter. Sometimes when I'm trying to research what to talk about and I'm looking up UFO videos, some of the best places to look is just right here on Twitter on the stuff that's been listed or just has been posted in the last few days. Let's look it up and find stuff that most people haven't even seen yet. I always click that media tab and we'll see if we see anything. I haven't like pre-watched this or anything. We'll have to check that the audio so I'm not blowing out nobody's speakers. All right, here we go. See these orbs, man. These orbs trick me out sometimes. Here we go. It's a new orb.
Got some new orbs in the building.
This is a whole different country. Everybody's seeing them.
O sea, en un momento determinado, ambos estaban grabando.
I swear I thought that was you, Mo, talking. Un momento. I was like, you tell me to stop. You tell me.
Simultáneamente en esfera, uno desde un ángulo y otro desde otro ángulo.
Yeah, the orbs are trippy because not even a drone. Like, why would you even design something that's not aerodynamic at all? Have you seen any circular drones? Like, that's not really a thing. It's not like it's a balloon. And I've seen some really convincing orb videos from one, the military, and two, from pilots that are really trippy. Yeah, I think we've showed them on here on the stream before. I saw this one out in Colombia again. Is that where it was? I wasn't sure because they had like Asian writing on the top right, but they were speaking Spanish. All right, let's check out a couple more. Just random ones that have just recently been posted on Twitter. Now, this could be some like a galaxy or something. I don't know why I said a galaxy.
I mean, spears are pretty common. I mean, we've seen quite a few spears over the years. Not trying to rhyme.
Oh.
But
I was thinking like a shooting star is what I meant. But the way it takes off at the end there, oh, that's pretty trippy. Are they even looking at it? That's a good one. I've never seen that before. The way it takes off is wild. That's one thing they always look for, UFO researchers, is the change of direction, because that shows that it's under intelligent control. Yeah, I'm still waiting to see or hear a little bit of a follow-up about what's going on with the pyramids and the stuff that they supposedly had discovered under the pyramids. I've been watching a few things about it, but it's all speculation. Nobody knows yet. Shout out to Denny OC's in the chat. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. Best show on Tuesdays. Hey,
yeah, the problem is why nobody knows, right? The same way they discovered the other, open area, whatever, near the tomb, the King's Tomb, like 5 years ago, and they refused to even like drill a pinhole in there to send the camera in.
True.
They're hiding shit, man. Like they're gatekeeping. They're pretty much gatekeeping, like archaeologists and, pseudo, whatever they want to call pseudoscience nowadays of like trying to challenge, status quo.
Yeah, they don't want to be proven wrong. I don't blame them. They kind of have the power. And that's kind of the problem in the world right now. The people who have the power don't want to relinquish it. Big A says, I think he said 2 people filmed at the same time in different places. So that's even more convincing. Oh, is that what he said in Spanish? Oh, he's listening. Okay, I got you on that first one. So, yeah, those orbs, I mean, they're definitely out there. I mean, I could show you, if I took a minute to do some research on them and show you some crazy videos on them. It's pretty convincing. Shout out to G Metals is in the house. OG G Metals is here. What's up, G Metals? We got Grandma Moore in the chat. Good to see you in the chat, Grandma Moore. Let's go. Happy Tuesday. It's our Tales from the Crypto show. We were just going over some UFO videos that have been recently posted on Twitter. And I guess we'll just move on to the next topic, which is sports. I don't have any graphics or anything.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of related to the paranormal. Have you seen any of this 0 point energy discussion going on?
A long time ago, I've heard that term before, but it's been a while since I've heard anybody talk about it.
Okay, so it was some new study or device that they're making, and the argument is that, you know, you can't create something from nothing, right? But then you start getting into a whole, like, almost like you're watching like the Big Bang Theory. You know, you're talking about some crazy hypothetical shit.
Right.
But there are theories that, like, you can get something from nothing. It creates like a ripple, which is like right at 0 point. So it's got this small energy, small area, creating like this ripple, which is then grabbed on like a larger scale and looks like a wafer board. And there's like a shit ton of them that they use in unison, where they can actually create small amounts of energy. Now, the problem is, how do you harness and then recycle the energy, right? So people tend to use like birds, for instance, when they flap their wings. You know, it's like they're letting it go and they're also building at the same time. That's why they're able to keep flapping and keep up. So there are theories that they might be able to harness this and then kind of like recirculate the or recycle the energy. It's pretty interesting. I saw a cool little article about it the other day, but
I don't know. I feel like that's a dangerous field to get into. I know people in the past have proven that they can like fuel cars with just water, and then, you know, a month later they disappear. It's happened several times. So I don't know if you want to be messing around with the energy.
Well, you just had the one man on screen with Tesla. I mean, that's a perfect example of what happens when you start really thinking outside the box and making waves.
Right.
Because if you can't give the world free energy, and that's pretty much what happened, right? Like, they were like, no, you're not going to do a free wireless grid. We're not going to allow it to happen. Smear campaigns basically ended his life, you know, and then kept him in hibernation for what, like 10, 20 years, something like that.
Yep.
And then when he died, they stole all of his work, which we're now starting to see. I think, was that Stephen Greer right there?
Yep.
Yeah, he talks about this shit all the time, man. Where it's like, a lot of things that we see and that we use on a daily basis come from Tesla's, you know, hidden technology. So
yeah, I think
there's definitely something to it.
They won't.
He definitely wasn't wrong
until they can charge us for it. Got to make that money. Then he goes, he said 0 point.
Well, yeah, but you can't charge somebody if you're using the Earth's natural resonance to send energy, and then you're like, oh, just put a spike in the ground. There you go.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, how can you really? You know, that's why they smear campaigned him. They fucking basically put him out of business. And Edison pretty much took over, and that's why even here in New York, our power grid for the longest time was Con Ed.
Is that Edison?
You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's all related.
Yeah, 100%. And it probably goes all the way back into that first brotherhood that created the country in the first place. All that National Treasure stuff where they go into what is Knights Templar? I mean, it gets deep. I mean, I think it's a historic thing. Like, it's been within these families for a long time. The same as this money has been in these families for a long time, and it really doesn't branch out. They want to keep it, and they want to keep their secrets, and we can only speculate. Big A says they actively have been working on actual free energy fusion. I would like to see some.
If you think it'll be free,
some advances.
Maybe a fusion reactor, and then they're going to charge us out the ass for it. So it ain't going to be free for us.
Like, nuclear energy could end up being something that is a lot cheaper and easier to use. 0 point is a crazy theory. I do like it, though. I don't know that much about it. I have to look more into it. What's up, Brendan Z? We got a triple OG in the chat. Sold off a bunch of stuff this morning. It hurt, but I needed some spare capital. Yeah, the VeVe stuff's been kind of crazy. I know last week we were talking about how Mick is gone. He's leaving. And then, oh, it's Mitch. Sorry, Mitch. I don't really talk to him that much. So and then we speculated that maybe Ben Rose could be leaving next, too, because nobody's heard from him in a few weeks. And then right after we had that live stream, they announced that Ben Rose was, in fact, leaving VeVe. Or, I don't know if he left or he got told to leave. He got forced to resign. So I think it might have something to do with that lawsuit that just got settled, where they apparently have to pay $250,000, I think, to the Ben guy, Ben Gadenzi. Mo, do you know anything about it? Did you hear about Ben Rose leaving?
I heard he left, and again, it just shows the power of the tail from the crypto. I mean, we talk about meme coins, they pump. We talk about Ben Rhodes, he's gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's the power that we have here, and that's why you want to tune in. No, actually, I don't really know too much about it. I just want to touch on one more thing with the 0 point energy.
Okay.
It's in theory, and again, this is like ancient astronaut type theories. Whereas they're saying that once it's like an achievement, like you're playing a video game, and it's like an achievement unlocked. If we actually do reach the point of harnessing 0 point energy, that's when the aliens will come back.
Yeah, true.
That's like the going theory, because that's like a checkpoint that's like a milestone in our evolution, right? So at that point, they're like, whoa, wait a second, you know, are they going to use it correctly? Or are they going to be a threat to us at that point? Because once we discover it, then interstellar travel could become very real, you know?
I mean, not only do we have to discover it, we have to make it last, because as soon as it gets discovered, I do feel like other forces, the powerful forces, will come to destroy it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to survive that part, too. Let's see. Big A says, I hope Mo still has some bonk. I heard you talk about.
Oh, I got majority of my bonk, dude. You kidding me?
It says it's doing well and it should continue to do well. Everything's doing well, apparently. Crypto's blowing up, and I have hardly any
Thanks
at
to
all.
Papa Trump, baby. Making deals, making waves. What's up?
Brennan Z says, I haven't kept up with that at all, but always like popping in here. Appreciate you, man. I haven't done any live streams for the VeVe drops in a while, but last week's VeVe drop, last weekend's, actually sold out, which I'm surprised. I don't know how it sold out, because there was a lot of additions. I think they need to check those wallets that have the Spider-Mans and the Obi-Wans, but apparently it sold out. Daniel C says, Tales from the Crypto, the crystal ball of the interwebs. I don't know about all that. There's Tucson with the partners.
I mean, you got Mostradamus. I mean, you know.
We got what?
I am Mostradamus.
Mostradamus. That's the first time I heard that. I like it. Tucson likes to hang out.
I never use that on this show. I use that shit all the time.
All right. In sports, of course, we got the playoffs going on, the NBA playoffs, but also I think the Stanley Cup playoffs
hockey's going on too.
I don't know nothing about it though. I like Boston. Hopefully they're in it, the Bruins. And been definitely paying attention to basketball. The Pacers have been kicking some butt. Might end up being the Knicks, your New York Knicks versus my Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Championship. The way it's looking, I think they're both up 3-1 right now. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, Knicks are looking good. I don't think the Bruins are it anymore. The Bruins are out.
Are they out?
On hockey.
And do you see what happened in the NBA draft the other night?
Yeah, same thing happened in the NHL. The
really?
furthest shot. The Islanders had like a very, very slim margin.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I think Dallas might have been a smaller margin, but that's insane.
Yeah, Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8% chance, I think it was, to get the first pick, and somehow they ended up getting the first pick, and that's big this year because Cooper Flag.
That's Cooper Flag, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the first pick. So the Mavericks are going to get them after trading away Luka. PA says it's time for Mostradamus to return to the trenches. Meme coins are back. Man, don't tempt me. No Bruins this year, so Boston did not make it. Well, then I'm definitely not interested. A bunch of Canadian teams.
Do we really think the meme coin cycle is going to go crazy again? I don't know if we're going to go back into a world of pump fun.
Not the pump fun stuff, but...
You know, days are over. But, I mean, the meme coins, there's going to be more AI and Web3 gaming than anything else.
Yeah, true. Alejandro said there's a big conspiracy now with that, with the Mavericks getting the first pick after giving up their superstar. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. We went over a conspiracy once on this channel. It was our paranormal topic where we talked about the Patrick Ewing draft and the conspiracy behind how they got the first pick on that one. When it was New York, they ended up doing it themselves, and they ended up getting Patrick Ewing. So maybe there was something behind that. I don't even know how they do the decisions on that. I don't watch it anymore like I used to find out who got the first pick. I would assume that they made it super fair now. I think people would know.
They used to put the ping pong balls in, no? They still do that.
Do like they still do the ping pong balls? Are you serious? Oh man, they might have waited one of those. They might have cheated on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
DLC says Florida's going to win the cup this year. It's all but written.
I got to start my dinner. Give me a 10-second of everything.
No problem.
Sausage and peppers.
Denny, are you talking about the Florida hockey team? Why would Florida have a hockey team? Do you know how much ice is in Florida? Zero. Unless you go to the gas station. How are they playing hockey in Florida? You can't be good at hockey in Florida. It's got to be a different cup. Is it a soccer cup? Is it a McDonald's cup? They're definitely not winning the Stanley Cup. Florida? Hockey? The ping pong ball thing is due to people tanking. That's true. Yeah. I know a lot of people complain about that. Teams will tank so that they get the first pick. So obviously it didn't help you this time because I think the Mavericks almost made it to the playoffs. They're in the play-ins.
You know, Florida has 2 hockey teams.
What?
And the Tampa Bay Lightning are actually damn good too.
They got no ice.
Tampa Bay is my favorite team actually in the NHL besides the Islanders. But
we never had any type of hockey around here. Like I never had a chance to even try to play hockey. There's one ice rink like way over in Louisville. I've been to it like twice in my life. Toronto was odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup. People like going for the air conditioning. This makes sense though. Yeah, if it's hot out and you're in Florida, you go ice skating just to cool down. They won the cup last year. All right, my bad. Okay, so yeah, it makes sense. They gotta get out of the heat one way or another, even if it means signing up and playing a sport where you have to fight each other. Whatever.
You've been to Florida, right?
I was in Florida like a couple months ago. We were just at the Miami Heat game not too long ago.
It gets hot here in New York, right? Like, it hits the hundreds. You know what I mean?
Really?
But yeah, but not too often. And I don't know if it has in the past decade, but it used to. But anyway, I moved to Florida to help my cousin do some work, and I'd never been there before. Dude, I got off the plane at Orlando International, and I'm walking out the door, and I'm getting ready to light up a cigarette back then when I smoked. And I look up, and I'm like, why are there ceiling fans? And before I even finished my thought, the fucking humidity and the heat just blasted me of Florida. And I'm like, oh, now I know why they have ceiling fans outside. Yeah, bro, that place is brutal, man.
It's not just the heat; it is the humidity too. It tears you up down there. I love Florida though. I go there all the time. Alejandro says,
and they got these love bugs. You know what I'm talking about?
Love bugs?
Apparently, they were like an experiment down there, and they got out from like a fucking lab, and now they infest the state for like a couple months of the year.
No, I've heard.
And it was when I was down there, and bro, these bugs, right? They just fuck each other in midair, but they don't live that long. And what happens is, they'll just be swarming like an area like fucking locusts. And I used to walk like 10 minutes to get my coffee. And the only way I can have my coffee when I got home was not to drink the coffee on the way home. I had to seal it in 2 plastic bags, wrap it, tie it, in a cute little bow, and then carry it. And it would still be bugs like fucking just swarmed on the outside of the bag. It was so bad that the Walgreens next to my hotel, the entire window, the entire wall, would be covered in these fucking things at night, and they would have to like wash them down. It was like blinds, like these fucking love bug blinds. It was crazy.
Like in the south, like kind of close to the swamps.
No, I was in Orlando.
Orlando, yeah,
I was in Orlando, Tavares area, which is like Lake County-ish.
That's crazy. Yeah, Alejandro pointed out a good point as well. The defending champ Celtics were kicking butt last night. Tatum had like over 40 points, and then out of nowhere in the fourth quarter, he tears his Achilles. I think he's gone for like the rest of the playoffs. That's big. Real big.
Yeah, and I know one of the guys I watched, Los Pollos, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Los Pollos. He tweeted, he was happy, you know, was like, how many injuries is this guy going to fake? And then he was like catching so much fucking heat. I hate to be a big streamer. You can't even say anything, bro. He was just happy. He's a Knicks fan, you know?
Right.
But he was like, oh, I didn't realize he actually got seriously injured. I thought he was faking it, you know, which, whatever. But it's just crazy when you see someone open their mouth. It's like, I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt either.
No,
you know what I mean?
Definitely not that bad. He's going to be out for a minute. Refs are trying to ensure that the Leafs lose. I didn't know that there was controversy with NHL refs, because there is with NBA refs too. Go watch a live hockey game, Vault. I'm telling you, it's a good time. I've been to it was a Louisville game. Louisville, I can't remember the River Bats or something like that. It was like a minor league game. Been to a couple of them. Alejandro said outside of OIA is the most humid place in Florida. There's memes about that. OIA. Outside of Orlando. I think that's what he's saying. OIA? Orlando? What's up,
Orlando
Mohammed?
International Airport.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Shout out to Mohammed's in the chat. Good to see you, my man. It says, how long have I been gone for? Mo is showing his face. Yeah, it's a new development.
Yeah.
This is only maybe the second stream, but he has put the Bones character to rest. New Orleans just as humid? Yeah, I bet guarantee there's probably real humid. Like any other place, you get used to it. We think living in snow and cold is crazy. I guarantee it, man. I mean, if you're living in Florida and New Orleans all your life, and then you move up north like to Canada, to where it's like literally snowing every day, that's got to be like a culture shock. I don't even know if, I mean, is it even healthy? Does that affect your body?
You got your
What's up, Gallop Run?
maybe Mo and Tell window open or available?
I don't. I can create it real quick.
Hey, you want to throw it up real quick? I want to show you something.
All right, I'm gonna create this real quick. We're gonna do Mo and Tell, and I have not.
It's sports related, so.
I have not checked out Bunt yet. I forgot to. Audio. Boom. Okay, we can hear you. Let me make you bigger.
Can't hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Okay, there we go. Look at this guy. Look at him. Looks like Patrick Wild here.
Was that you?
You have me thinking about sports. Yeah.
Oh, goalie. Okay, here we go.
Oh, the glove save. Oh, baby. See, I used to warm up without a stick. Because I just like to embarrass people with my glove. I don't know what. That's like a highlight video. I don't know when the hell I made this.
Looks good. It's like a GoPro.
Yeah, so this is the I played on a team with a bunch of cops. I think I might have told you that story.
Oops. Yep.
But the cops were not too happy when they found out a pothead played goalie for them. But they got over it when they started winning.
As long as you're good, I'm sure they get over it.
I mean, listen, I'm streaky. You know, I'm very emotional. So if my team is out there playing like shit, just make me not want to be there.
Right.
But I've also had games where people have come up to me and they're like, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing just playing like wreck, you know? So, and I used to have a lot of teams that would ask me to stay behind. Like, oh, if you're not doing anything, our goalie bailed, you know, we'll play another game. So, kind of like the advantage of being a goalie. The perks, but...
That looks fun. Man, I'm surprised we don't have that around here. I mean, we could put some ice together, throw some water down, and freeze it. I've, like, never played hockey in my life. It looks fun. Alejandro says Tatum might be out for the whole next season? I didn't know about all that. Jeez. Oof, usually when it happens at the end of the season, they're back at the beginning of the next season. But, yeah, that's real tough. Thoughts on the torpedo bats in MLB? Yeah, Danielle, see, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I can't remember exactly all the details about it. So it's these new baseball bats that these people started using, and they have this wider barrel. I think Mo knows a little bit more about it than I do. About the torpedo bats, what do you think about them?
Yeah, I mean, they've been around for a few years from what I understand now. The Yankees made them popular by winning, I guess, with them. But, yeah, it just has to do, I guess, with where, like, the core shape of the bat, you know, comes in because people were hitting, I guess, too much on the handle anyways. So it just forces better contact. The torpedo bat, but I never swung one. I'd like to. I'd love to play some baseball, man. I miss playing sports in general.
Yeah, I mean, they have like softball leagues for men around here, but they don't have baseball leagues. I don't want to play softball. It seems girly. Not in Trump's America.
I mean, for me, you know, playing baseball, first of all, I was never the best baseball player. I don't know if my homie's watching downstairs, but I grew up playing baseball with him, right?
Right.
And, you know, most people are like, nah, bro, you were good, you know, because I was a catcher. See, if you make yourself valuable to a team, like, not many people want to play catcher, not many people want to play goalie.
True.
You know?
Yep.
So if you're that psychopath that wants to get, you know, fastballs thrown at your fucking ball sack and, you know, diving out for pucks and taking pucks to the head and whatever the case might be, you'll probably get a lot more, you know, bang for your buck. But I used to make tournament teams, and I'd always make travel teams, and I guess I was okay. And I laid down one good bunt when I was like 13, and these motherfuckers made me bunt for like the next 5 years of my fucking baseball career until I stopped playing. It was so bad.
So you were the bunt guy.
I laid one good. I was fast as fuck. Absolutely right. I'm like a fucking stick.
Guy. Yeah, if you're fast,
yeah,
that's important.
But I laid down one good bunt and beat it out, and they were like, "Oh man!" Now, when you're younger, and people are throwing like 60 miles an hour, you know, facing up, squaring off with a bunt, not too bad, right?
Right.
When you start to get older, and we had some people that would throw like up in the 80s and shit. And I want to say there's one boy, Frankie and Eddie, they probably threw like in the 90s. They threw so hard.
Yikes.
We actually had a guy got signed to the Dodgers from our town here. He was a pitcher. Well, it was actually I don't know if he was the pitcher or the catcher. It was two brothers. But anyway, I digress. I was not squaring off against a bunt, coming in at like 85 miles an hour and catching that shit in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not against those young guys because they got even less control. Shout out to Dice is in the chat. Good to see you, Dice. Daniel C says that mowing the pipes, no stick warm up. That is awesome.
Yes, sir.
That's the first time I even heard that phrase. I'm sure it's a common phrase in hockey. Lindor MVP.
Between the pipes, yeah.
Lindor MVP it's not Ohtani. I heard Ohtani's been crushing it. Then he says, I was a third line guy, only put on the ice to be someone's punching bag. That's how I was in baseball. I was not good at baseball at all. I played a little bit of catcher too because I didn't have an arm. They had to put me somewhere where I didn't have to throw it too much. From what I heard, bat has to be tailored to the hitter. Takes a lot of data to design properly. Oh man, that just sounds like straight up cheating. The old saying in baseball is if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And in my opinion, I mean
that's the saying of life, honestly.
Yeah. I guess that in Trump's America it is. That's a good segue into politics. Our next
Segue it over.
Speaking of cheating and stuff, well, how do you feel about Trump taking a $400 million plane?
I knew you were opening with that one. You weren't going to open with the good stuff. I am totally against the plane. Now, he hasn't come out and personally said it's for personal use. Apparently, it's going to the Trump library or some bullshit. I don't know. If it is going to personal use, I do stand with everybody else. I think that I saw talk about it, and I'm totally against that. That's bullshit. And also, why are we accepting planes? Like, I would never put my life in the hands of a plane that came from someone I don't trust. Another country?
You know
Hell
it's
no.
bugged. Is it not obviously going to be bugged?
Oh, you know it's already bugged. You know, yeah.
They got
exactly.
the bugs inside the freaking metal. Of course it's
got
bugged.
the bugs. It's got the GPS. They can track it. They can listen to you. Like, yeah, why the hell would you accept that? You know what I mean?
He's supposed to use it as Air Force One until after he leaves office, if he leaves office, and then it gets donated to the Trump Library, which is just their way around the emoluments clause. But he'll still be able to have access to it. But like he said, he hasn't said if he's going to use it for personal use or not.
Right.
But he is going to accept it.
But if he does, I will be a little bit agitated about it. I'm not on board with that.
And he's over there right now. He's visiting the 3 richest countries in the world. That's like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and maybe United Arab Emirates. I'm not sure what the third one is. And he's bombing one of the poorest countries in the world, which is Yemen. So, I mean, a lot of people are worried that he's making deals right now that are going to benefit him personally. He's getting bribed right now. Other people are saying that maybe he's bringing in investments, and I know that they announced some investments, but I've been hearing a lot of countries saying that they're announcing investments into America, but the announcements aren't the thing that actually brings the money. You actually have to actually do it, and I haven't seen anybody actually do it yet.
Well, these things take time. He also did just talk about it. Was it yesterday, the day before? My timeline's a little fucked up, still recovering, but you know, a lot of these companies that are coming in, some of them even have buildings from like previous times when they were here in America that they're looking to just kind of like refurbish and get back into.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about it, right? Like by the time a lot of these things even happen with businesses building in America to be made in America again, it might be Democrat run again. Who the hell knows? And then God knows what will be then. But, you know, it's, we don't really know. But again, the GM thing, other companies are going to start to get on board with that. I mean, that was big. That just shows you that, you know, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not always going to be passed on to the customer, because the problem is corporate greed. These motherfuckers make too much money. You know what I mean? So they're like, hey, listen, we're not going to pass the $4 billion from tariffs on to you guys. We're going to make $10 billion this year instead of 14. We're okay with that. And if other companies are okay with that and they're not greedy sons of bitches, it'll be all right. And we have other countries now coming to the table, signing deals. You know, China now, right? They want the 90-day pause. They dropped us to what, 10%? We left them at 20. I don't know. I think it's good. Things are working. I'm paying cheap as fuck for gas. Egg prices are coming down. Eventually, we'll see that come into, like, you know, companies when they're not paying as much for gas. We won't pay as much for food because it doesn't cost as much to ship it. You know, it'll eventually, it's a trickle effect, but it looks like it might be working. His little threat, you know, that we talked about. So
yeah, you guys are on a whole entirely different planet with your own alternative facts, I suppose. I mean, Trump just tweeted today that all the food prices are down and gas prices are down. But I mean, they're
They
down.
are?
They're down from like 30 days ago, but they're not down from when he took office. They're not down from December 2024. So they're actually up from all those prices. And he did a 90-day pause.
No, I'm definitely paying less now than I paid in December 2024. That's a fact.
I mean,
At least here in New York.
According to Grok.
Now, California's going to have their own struggle because they have taxes and shit that they put on top of it, which is their own problem. But here in New York,
the Grok fact check, he disagrees. So I don't know. And then the stuff that he's doing now with the healthcare. So did you hear about the whole healthcare act that he's just passed, or the executive order? And he's saying that it's going to bring down cost to 80%. But of course, it's not designed. It's not designed at all to bring down costs. All it is to make sure that our costs are the same as European costs. So basically, what he's doing is he's forcing Europe countries to now pay the same amount that we're paying for prescriptions. So he's really going to be pissing off the rest of the world, if he hasn't already, with the tariffs. And I wonder, at some point, does the world or the big countries get together and maybe try to attack us? And then all the people who, like me, didn't vote for Trump, and we can be like, well, we didn't vote for him. Well, that's the same thing that happens over in Israel and Palestine. They're like, well, you didn't vote for Hamas and Palestine, but you did vote for, your country voted for Hamas, so you're part of them anyway, so you get bombed. They're going to look at Americans the same way. We voted for Trump, so we're responsible for it too, because right now the world hates him. He's destroying the economy. He's destroying a lot of people's trade. He's destroying businesses. Everything he's doing right now is hurting small businesses and really helping the big corporations. And they're even like bragging about it whenever they pump and dump the stock market. And he's got, was it Goldman Sachs in there? He's talking about, oh, dude made $2 billion today. The other guy made $900 million, and they're all laughing. You think Trump made a bunch of money off of those same pump and dumps? He's the one who is,
of course,
making the anomaly. So he's just like robbing the country blind right now. They're just having a party, and at the same time, this new big beautiful bill that he's passing is just going to give a whole bunch more tax cuts to the rich, as they're taking more and more money away from government.
They just talked about more tax. They talked about implementing more taxes to the rich. So if that goes through, then he's just pissing off his own people. But again, if he wants to bring fairness and equality, the same way with world trade, we've been taking advantage for way too long.
But what
and
is
that other countries, the reason why they don't get together.
You're saying we're being taken advantage of. The only thing is trade deficits, and trade deficits isn't being taken advantage of. I've explained it many times. Like, it doesn't even make sense that you pretend, or that anybody pretends like the fact that we have a trade deficit with another country is them taking advantage of us. If we buy diamonds from some poor African country, there's no way that they can buy the same amount of stuff from us that they don't even want or need just to balance out the trade deficit. We want their diamonds. We can't create the diamonds ourselves, so the trade deficit doesn't matter.
Well, on some things, I'm sure, but that's why they have different percentages on different fields of trade, you know? So again, I don't know. It seems to be working the way I see it. If the rest of the world think they could have got together and beat the U.S. and we didn't really control the rest of the world and we're not fucking everybody's sugar daddy, then they would have already done it. But, you know, again, we've been talking about it. Even Democrats have been crying about it since the fucking late 80s. They're tired of China taking advantage of us. And Trump's the first guy that's actually trying to put them in check. And the rest of the world's kind of falling in suit. So,
well, can you explain how China's taking advantage of us? Because what happened is all these unions...
I mean, just go back and watch the Schumer fucking video. You can go back and watch the Pelosi video. It's like 20 minutes long. They'll explain it really good in detail for you. Because
well,
again, those aren't even my people.
In detail too, in pretty simple terms. It's the fact that we started unions here in like places where we're manufacturing cars, like Detroit. All these factories started unionizing. We wanted more pay, so the greedy corporations wanted to go and do all their labor for $2 an hour to slave labor in China so that they can increase their profits. So how is China taking advantage of us or hurting us whenever it's our corporations that are profiting off of their labor?
Well, again, it's the intake. It's like the importing and exporting, right? It's like the old Vandelay Seinfeld episode. People felt like it was too unfair. It was unbalanced. And again, this is Democrats that were crying about it back then. It wasn't even Republicans. Republicans just the one that put their foot down.
The facts of the matter is that the whole point of it is so that we wouldn't unionize and demand to have like health care and better wages. So it was really corporations that were screwing over Americans, and those same corporations are the ones that are going to be the ones that profit over it. They're going to profit over it.
I retweeted the 20-minute Schumer thing from a long time ago, and the Pelosi's out there too. So anybody can go watch him. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. But
then he says Trump says he's not going to use it after he's a president for that airplane. But Trump lies a lot. Woody says, don't forget we have to pay $100 million.
I don't know if he officially said that yet, but he might have said it today.
We have to pay hundreds of $1 million for the plane upgrades. I did not realize that. I didn't hear that part of it. So we got to pay for some stuff too. Psh, that'll come out of taxpayer money.
What, to retrofit it and go to make it an Air Force
Yeah,
One?
I saw where even Laura Loomer and Ben Shapiro were complaining about Bribe Force One. Yeah, even the Republican.
Bribe Force One. That's a good one.
Galaxy says he went to the border and waved to the other side as they were standing there. Did he? I didn't know that. Big A says last time Trump bragged about deals was the Foxconn plant and GE moving to Mexico, and those ended up not panning out like he claimed. That's the ones that like he canceled himself, and he was like, "Who was the dummy who made this deal in the first place?" And it was like, "It was you. You canceled it." Who can forget Foxconn? I mean, I really don't know that much about Foxconn, except the plane. But
all I know is I saw my first "Made in America" sign again on Twitter yesterday, and it made me happy. That's all I know. Brought me back to the '80s vibes, man.
That's good.
It was a good feeling. But
Tucson says Mo changes subjects 4 times a minute. I haven't noticed that. We got Abdullah in the chat. What's up, Abdullah? Good to see you, my man. Oh, he said it was a 30 trillion in debt and put it towards the 30 trillion in debt. Yeah, that's true. I like that idea. Just auction it off. Offshoring in the 80s was all about busting unions. Yeah, that's the whole point. They get that cheap labor. So, I mean, what's China doing? They got a whole bunch of people. They got more people than us. They need to give them jobs. So if we're willing to give them work, then why not do it? What's up, Bruin 88? Good to see you, man. We were just talking about the Bruins.
What?
They didn't make it to the playoffs this year.
Tucson was the one who made a dumb comment. I was like, why didn't I see it? That's because he's too fucking retarded to keep up. His fucking simpleton brain.
Who's that, me?
No, fuck you. Tucson. You. I like you.
My bad. Okay, and then
might not agree with you on everything, but that's why we do the show.
So here's the new thing. Here's this one is really killing me right here. Maybe I'm sure since you've got an answer for everything, I want to hear your answer on this one. All right, so Trump's talking about how
opinion. That was an answer.
Immigrants are a big problem right now. They're putting a big strain on our system. We got to get rid of the immigrants, not just the illegal immigrants. He's taking out immigrants just for having different opinions than him. He says they're not assimilating. But now he's bringing in white South African immigrants. And if you look at the pictures of them, there's show video of them coming in through the airport. They look like they've never had a day of struggle in their life. They look like rich people. So there's nothing racist about kicking out all the brown immigrants and bringing in white immigrants? Because that's wild to me.
I mean, it really depends on what the use case is. Is that one of them $500 billion fucking gold immigration cards that they're using?
No, that's not at all. They're saying that they're being persecuted against because they're white in South Africa, and I know that South Africa did pass some new amendments to their constitution where they're taking back some of the land that the colonizers took in the past. I mean, at some point, I think South Africa's law only blacks could only own 5% of the land total, and white people had to own 95% of the land, even though white were the minority. So there's a little bit of flip-flopping going on there. So even if they are, though, victims of some type of oppression, there's lots of other people in lots of other countries that aren't white that are victims of oppression who come here to seek asylum, literally asylum seekers, and he demonizes them all the time. So why is it that these white asylum seekers are great and awesome?
I mean, that day's Trump. What did Trump say?
He says that they're being oppressed and they're trying to commit a genocide against white people in South Africa. And of course, it's Alon's country. Shout out to Hippies in the chat. What's up, Hippie?
So we have a savior complex now. We're gonna start bringing in all the oppressed.
No, just the white oppressed. That's the thing. I mean, can we at some point just admit that this dude's racist? Just openly racist? I mean, his buddy Elon Musk did a Nazi salute in front of everybody twice. Can we just say these are white supremacists that are running our country now? Because the fact that they're bringing in white immigrants and kicking out brown immigrants is pretty hard to argue against.
I mean, again, really just depends the rhyme and the reason. Maybe he's got deals cut out. I don't know. But when it comes to people in this country, I don't really care who's in this country. But if you're causing fucking problems and you're a criminal, you probably shouldn't be here. And, again, here in New York, we had tons of issues with immigrants and immigrant crime and people getting robbed in fucking broad daylight. Guess what? Those have actually gone down considerably. So whether it's they're scared or whatever, they're in hiding or they're gone, who knows? But it ain't happening as much. And again, I live in New York. Those would be the main stories I get on my local news.
Because the stats have always shown that immigrants, either illegal or legal, commit less crime than naturalized citizens. It's always been that
Say
way.
again?
Yeah. Every statistic shows that illegal or legal immigrants commit less crime than naturalized citizens, percentage-wise. Like 15% of naturalized citizens commit crime, while only 5% of illegal and legal immigrants commit crime. And no, Gallup, these are not people that paid for the car.
Unlike UFO videos, which are blurry and we can't believe them.
What's up,
The
Viper?
videos that we get here from these, especially with the Venezuelan crime that was going on for a while,
Yeah.
that was definitely not made up. So, again, I can only talk about a localized perspective on that, and my girl works out there, so I'm very fearful for her. And, that seems to be under control. So,
Shout out to
thank Trump
Vipers
for that
in the
one.
chat. What's up, Viper? Gallup says, Mo, you need a little more lighting. You are a little
Oh,
dark.
100%.
Get
I
you
need a different camera.
a ring light would help. Brune88 says,
I have a ring light. It's the camera. The camera doesn't have a very good auto. The settings on this thing is basically crap. It's a fucking, speaking of China, made in China piece of crap.
Yeah, that's the problem. You need a tariff.
Made in America Logitech.
Says, we welcome all who are seeking asylum. Just do it legally. Well, all these people, half the people they're sending to El Salvador are people who came to the border and went to a border crossing legally and seeked asylum legally. And they're being called illegals. They're in that 21 million number that Trump keeps saying. Those are legal asylum seekers. What's up, Jay Bird? Good to see you, my man. Jay Bird says I retired from VeVe, which accurate.
Which, by the way, not that I want to go down the asylum road again, but one day we could actually go back and take the Reagan Asylum Act and look at it and realize that it actually was nothing in comparison to what we were allowing to happen. Where people, even Republicans and Democrats, were like, Reagan probably rolling over in his grave. So, a lot of rules and everything he had on his weren't being followed moving forward anyway. So we can touch on that another time, but might be food for thought.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a better way to do asylum. I think you should decide beforehand which countries' citizens are eligible for asylum, because you know that they're having a civil war right now, or you know that they have some crazy ruler, but not just anybody who's dealing with some stuff in their home country. If their home country's stable, then you got to find a place to go in your home country. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, there was some, like I said, there was some metrics tied to it. Like, you had to be here a certain time, you had to be working, you had to be, contributing. You couldn't just be some fucking rando. And yeah,
I didn't know that.
And again, if you were to compare that with what we were allowing asylum to happen under the previous administration, it was nowhere near Reagan's Asylum Act. So, yeah, maybe we bring it up on a future show and compare it.
Brune88, you're right. Yeah, he's saying that not all of them come in at a port of entry, but a lot of them do. But you're right. Some of them who cross illegally will then claim asylum after they're captured. But a lot of them are told that's what they're supposed to do too. So you got to keep that in mind. Then he says, "I'm not sure."
It reminds me of the what was it, the Dr. Phil video when he went to the border a few years ago, or whatever.
I didn't.
And he was like,
I saw some memes about it. Shout out to Seed Spill.
It was a pretty good video, but on the video they showed someone trying to get across the border, right?
Right.
And they had like the Mexican patrol, and then they had like the U.S. border patrol, right? And you would see that on their side, they weren't even trying. It was like a little kindergartner trying to tackle Barry Sanders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they knew as soon as they stepped foot across and we were the ones that grabbed them, they weren't going back.
Right.
They would never accept them back on that side of the border. So,
Yeah, change the laws up. Denny says, I'm not sure about you guys down south, but here there was a lot that came in legally but are staying illegally. Now, I know a lot of people overstay their visas. At one point, like when Trump was first elected president the first time, there was actually more illegals that had overstayed their visas than there was people who had crossed the border illegally. But I'm sure that's not true anymore. Shout out to
probably on 90 Day Fiancé.
Good to see you, my man. We got OG Jeff here. Says,
Jeff in the building.
Who's that guy that stole MoKnowz' voice? I know, right? He slaughtered the.
Who's that guy?
He slaughtered the animated cartoon and took over. Sandbox says the South Africans that just came are being supplied with paid room and board and food, and that's what they were complaining about this whole entire time about immigrants, asylum seekers getting paid room and board and food. Oh, that's my tax money. But then the white asylum seekers get it, and they just love it. It's so apparent and obvious. It's like, how are we not calling this out for what it is?
Yeah.
What he says, Alon stayed illegal.
59 just popped up on my feed.
Yeah, Alon was illegal.
59 of them? Yeah.
I think Melania was illegal for a while there too. But we actually have a more pressing topic that I want to get into when it comes to politics. Mo's gonna have to help me out on this one. I want to know more about the guy from France, Macron. Macron apparently. So they were getting ready to start this press conference or something, and they're in this room, Macron and one of his guys, and apparently there's like a white powdery substance in a bag on the table and a spoon, and they try to hide it real quick. What exactly happened, Mo? You got video of it?
Yeah, I can bring it up on Mo and Tell.
Yes.
Let's see. Bing,
I saw
bing,
like
bing.
a little bit about it, but I don't know.
They're not gonna let me full screen this. Are you kidding me?
You can't.
That's
full screen?
insane.
Oh, that's weak.
What the hell? What kind of world is this? Yahoo News.
That's Yahoo for you.
Yes, you see it right here, right? He palms it right away.
What the hell?
This is when they sit down. You got the bag right here.
Yeah.
Well, what they say is it does look like a napkin. Listen, that's not really what concerns me the most, but the spoon. And anybody that's done coke, I'm not a big coke enjoyer. I've done it once in my life, but the way that they hide this, the way that they look around, it's very sus. Now, again, they did a highlight in the bag right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I bought weed and all sorts of crazy shit, tucked in a little pouch like this. But the spoon is the one that gets me. Like, what purpose and why are they looking so sus, and why are they trying to hide it so quickly?
I want to see
You know what I mean?
video
And
of the
even
spoon.
the way
I
he
can't-
looks around.
Can't hardly see the spoon.
Yeah, the spoon is tough to see. You can see it right here on my mouse,
It's really hard to
right in
see.
front of the glass. And you'll see he grabs it so quick in the blue on the right-hand side. Right here, boom.
Oh, it's like a little tiny spoon. It's not like an actual spoon.
You don't put
It's like a
yeah,
stirring
Coke is a
spoon.
little. No. This has like a little fucking bump, like you would take a bump of Coke off of.
Maybe.
I don't know. That
Let me know, chat. What do y'all think? This is the new controversy. If they could just happen today or yesterday, it's just happened, and people are, of course, on the right are saying that he had a little bag of cocaine, and he was picking that up off the table and hiding it. And apparently, old dude had a spoon. But I mean, I don't know a lot about cocaine and stuff. But I never heard of doing cocaine with a spoon. I heard of doing crack with a spoon, right?
No, 'cause you take
do
a bump.
Cocaine with
No,
a spoon. You do?
yeah, you take a little. People use keys too. You take a key, you dip it in the bag, it's a little bump.
C-Spill
Yeah, it's a
apparently
little
knows
bump.
about it. C-Spill? This from personal experience? I'm just says I really thought Mo's voice was filtered. No, that's his actual voice. What about the Derby horse beating?
Actual voice.
What's the Derby horse beating? I'm in Louisville. Oh, I'm right by Louisville, and I didn't hear about this. Did he get beat or did he get beaten? Sad that these people are running our world. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that could be anything. It could be a napkin. Kind of looked like a napkin to me, but the spoon thing.
Well, listen, and you could tell me this was a napkin, and if he didn't sit down and make this weird fucking face, watch his face when he picks it up.
He said
Look.
there's a cut line on the table too.
That I haven't seen. I mean, see, like a little powder substance here, maybe a little dot.
Sloppy coke users.
But I don't know. Like, you could say, oh, they were mixing drinks. Really? Because that looks like fucking water to me. Why the hell are you mixing water?
I don't know.
So, yeah, like,
It's
what
France,
purpose
man.
would this...
They might have some special water over in France.
Maybe. Now, I do know that some people were looking at, like, altered images, but, like, the color and things were changed and the hue was changed. And it does look like a fucking bag of Coke, but it's not a real image. It's doctored. This is the real image here. You can tell by the color of the table. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't... Like I said, you could have told me if you would have sat down, didn't act all sus. I would have thought that was a napkin, 100%, maybe blew his nose. But he looks... It doesn't even show it on him. The way he looks around and shit on the video is fucking wild.
Yeah, he's definitely hiding it. He's cupping it. I've done that cup move before many times when somebody walks into the room. So he's definitely cupping it. News Now marijuana.
Like, that was a trick. If you got pulled over by the cops and you had weed on you, the best thing to do was hold it in your hand. And you would palm it like that. It was, carry a little bit back then.
Right.
And you just, boom. And then when, like, check your pockets, you would actually, me and my boy John would do this. After you pull your pockets out to show what you got, when you push it back in, you drop the fucking bag of weed in there. Because they don't check your pocket again.
That's
You know what I
smart.
mean? So,
yeah, that's smart.
I don't know. It's not really the object itself, but the demeanor that both of them show after they do it. It looks very, very sus.
It did look a little sus. They're not even in suits or anything, too. They're in, casual clothes. So I don't really know what's going on there. News Now says, probably our boy Podesta. I don't know what Podesta has to do with that. I wouldn't be surprised. Seen a clip where the guy in the blue covered up a full line on the table. Man, they're already making some edited videos. I might be real though. I don't want to see it. I kind of just heard about this today. Big A says that would be like an ounce of coke. I did seem like a lot. I think he was just hiding some trash.
That would be an ounce of coke.
I mean, because if it's in a bag, that bag would have to be completely full. But like you said, it could be like he's in a white napkin and the coke is inside of it, the same way people have done in the past, from what I hear.
Well, we used to get weed like that.
Yeah.
We used to get Nick bags from Raj in the bathroom in high school,
yeah.
and you walk in, and you put a shit ton of weed, like in a brown paper towel from like the hand thing in the bathroom.
Smart.
And he would just go in there, he fucking dump it in there, fold it up, bing bang boom, give him the fucking pound and walk out.
Let's go, after school snack.
I'm waiting for Dr. Strange to jump in and be like, I know Raj.
What he says, Macron waiting for Don Jr. to show up. Don Jr. and Hunter. Cecil says, winner fined $62,000 for excessive whipping. Oh, wow. So apparently that was in the Derby race. The winner was...
Oh, and the jockey. Yeah.
Yeah, excessive whipping. I think I've heard of that happening, but not in like 20 years. Gallopron says...
400 and some odd years.
They fined the winning jockey for a couple extra hits to the horse with his crop. Crop makes more than noise than anything. It was stupid as F and Y. The sport is where it's at. Is there like a number of times you're allowed to smack your horse? I mean, if so, then give us a counter. Give me a whip with a counter on it so I can check. I'm at 38 whips. I better slow down. I mean, that's some technology that you need to build into that. Looks like a crumbled up napkin, says Big A. That's what I was thinking. Shout out to Steven Cruz in the chat. Good to see my man. Says just a napkin, document signed, and then cameras rode on. Just removed the napkin to appear more clean and formal. Or he's high on cocaine. One of the two. Maybe check your carbon monoxide detector. Danny OC says go back to very start. Look at the guy in the blue's hands at the very start.
I can play it again if you want.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull you up. Motel. I mean, what's in his hands? The guy in the blue? You mean the light blue, right?
Yeah, the light blue.
I didn't see anything in his hands at the start.
Like I said, he's got the
We're gonna
Coke
have
spoon
some
right here.
Forensic
Here's the water.
analysis on this. Apparently, he's covering up a line in some way. All right. I don't know if I believe that. Big A says,
yeah, I still don't see the line, but
Big A apparently has seen many bags of Coke, and it's never looked like that. Interesting. To the very start. I think maybe play it one more time, Mo. We just did. I still don't see nothing. That could have been pills,
so many times.
A bag within the napkin. There could have been anything inside the napkin.
Yeah.
Play it from the start. We played it. Cal said I've gotten stuff put in a cigarette packet liner, so a napkin is an upgrade. I've done that for many, many times. The cigarette packet liner.
I can't believe I'm the only person that's ever had to go to the garbage pail outside and retrieve a bag of weed that was in a napkin. Like, I've done it so many times where I'm like, oh, I don't have a plastic bag on me, just throw it in here and then put it in my pocket.
Oh, I've definitely
and I put it on the table.
Napkin. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, but then I throw it in the garbage and I'm like, what the fuck's my weed at?
Oh, that's the problem.
And I'm like, then I gotta go pull it out of the garbage and I'm like, I hope it there's no coffee or like wet garbage juice on top of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Sandbox says,
what about last time I did that? I don't think I smoked it. I was like, yeah, I'm not smoking this.
What about Qatar gifting the plane to Trump? That was the first thing I brought up when we got to the politics section. Even Mo says it's probably not a good look, but
yeah, we're not on that one.
I just don't want him to be using it as Air Force One because it's bugged. It's definitely bugged. What if they got a bomb on there? They click a button and it blows up. Viper says, what if it was just a snot rag and this guy's life is now in ruins after social media investigators? I don't think Macron cares that much. Don't they? Isn't that the guy that they say his wife is a man? Then there's a whole conspiracy theory about it. I think he can deal with this part.
It also goes deeper than that because there's been like years and articles and shit dedicated to Zelensky being a huge cokehead.
Yes, that's true.
So, I mean, it wouldn't really be too far-fetched if they're all kind of hanging out, getting coked up. Just saying.
Viper says, you're only allowed 6 whips, and he whipped them 8 times. You gotta count your whips. And can you whip 6 times in a 4 furlong and still only whip 4 times in a mile race? Oh my goodness, they got some rules against whipping over there. Again, 2 extra whips in the biggest race of the year. True that.
Whip it good.
Should be overlooked. All right, Woody, thanks for hanging out with us. Good to see you, my man. Tell me you never seen a bag of Coke without telling me you've never seen a bag of Coke. But you're not talking about me. I've seen a bag of Coke. Not a lot of them, but a couple. After he moves his water, he grabs the spoon. Yeah, I saw that part. but I really would like to see that spoon better because it looks like an odd shaped spoon. Like most of it could be like a bump spoon, right there. But it could be like a stir spoon too, though. Right there, yes. Look at the table right in front of the cup. I know there's a little bit of lag on it. I didn't see it. I tried to see it. Dan K says the original gangsters. What's up, Dan K? Good to see you in the chat, my man.
Dan K in the building.
There's a Vance token. Is it a JD Vance token? I'll buy it. He's probably going to be the next president. We got Mr. V in the chat. Good to see you, Mr. V. Hope you're doing well as well, my man. CA contract address for what? Are you buying the
for the Vance token?
The Vance token. This seems like a good pickup. Stan says P. Diddy likes man juice rubbed on his body. According to Cassie's testimony, is that a Hollywood ritual? Thanks. While we're hiding, I've never been to a Diddy party. However, man juice rubbed on your body. Yeah, what is up with that? Maybe, I mean, have you tried it? Maybe it feels really good. I mean, you wouldn't know unless you tried it. Maybe this is some secret that the elites are keeping from us because they don't want us to feel as good as they feel. I'm about to go get me some lemon juice. See what's up.
Oh, you said you could give me some man juice.
Oh,
man,
what? I thought that was. Oh wait, hold on, man juice.
Man juice, not lemon juice.
I thought it was lemon juice. I don't think I'm gonna be rubbing man juice. All right, let's move on.
I just saved you from ruining your career right
Appreciate you on that one. Wow, that was a misstep.
But it's funny because I watch 90 Day Fiance, right?
Yep.
Like my guilty pleasure. The one chick, Jasmine, she's like talking about how she was gonna take man juice and rub it on her face. It was like good for the skin or something.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where Diddy got it from. Maybe that's where she got it from.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if she thinks it's good for her skin, might as well try it. Why not? Viper says, are we not going to talk about Pete Rose? What's going on with Pete Rose? I know he passed away recently, but I haven't heard anything recently. I mean, that was like months ago. That was a few months ago. We were going to talk about a Web3 game this week. Mo, what's your game?
The game this week was none other than DeFi Dungeon.
Okay. I'm going to pull it up here. You tell us a little bit about it.
All right. DeFi Dungeon is another passive play, set it and forget it type of game. Played a little bit. It's pretty cool. Just kind of just get your guys, level them up, get some gear, set them out to fight the boss and then come back and hopefully they win. There's no like real-time interaction, unfortunately, but
it says it's an idle MMORPG. How's it idle? What do they mean by that? So you can like earn while you're not playing?
Yeah. So you just kind of like put your team together with your guys and send them out on the mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to scroll down, but it doesn't
if they win.
Website doesn't scroll.
Yeah, the website's not the greatest, but like I said, the game was it's interesting. I don't know. The problem with all these Web3 games, man, they're all just like, oh, I played this shit on mobile 10 years ago.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the same one as last week.
But yeah, and that's kind of my point. But it's the games I normally would play anyway. Not really idle games, but like the MMO type of grindy shit. So, but it's something to look into. It's on Solana.
Oh, apparently they reinstated Pete Rose, so he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. That's awesome. I did not know that. Denny says, "Have y'all heard of being diddied in Call of Duty? Have you? I've heard of being teabagged. Is that what they calling it? Diddied now?
Yeah, they banned teabagging and diddying. They banned it in Call of Duty now. You can't do it.
What is diddying?
Teabagging, I guess.
Oh, come on, that's the same thing. Just change the name of it. They banned it. You get in trouble for doing it.
Yeah, now it's considered toxic behavior, and you can get reported for it.
In Trump's America, Big A says Maple Story Universe is the game y'all need to pay attention to. Launching in 2 days. Maple Story Universe. I think I saw you tweet about that.
Yeah, the mint. They just had the mint ended the 12th yesterday. Yeah, I've been looking at that. It's like Maple Story, and I think it's called the Web3 version.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. The Genesis.
I think it was like 1.1 million minted passes, whatever the hell they are.
Not available in my location. Is that normal? Man, Indiana sucks. Red state, stupid.
What,
ass
the Maple Story?
Republicans. It says Maple Story Universe is not yet available in your location.
Oh shit.
Is it the right thing? Big A? What's up with that, man? I'm always getting raw. I can't even bet on Photo Finish Live because I'm in Indiana. Jeff says, is Maple Story
welcome
on
to New York.
AVAX? If Big A's talking about it, it's definitely on Avalanche. And everyone there is hyped for it. Is there a phone version? That's a good question. But, I mean, if you're in Indiana, apparently, you can't play. I'm waiting to see what Big A says about it. Maybe I'm in the wrong Maple Story universe, but I kind of doubt there's two things called Maple Story universe. Here's a place where you can look at videos of Maple Story universe. Hopefully this doesn't blow out speakers. I'll try to mute it as soon as it starts. All right. The Genesis. Was it like a scroller? Looked like a scroller. They're saying stuff right now.
I think that's like, isn't it like the old school SNES RPG type games?
That's what it kind of looks like. They didn't really show too much gameplay footage. Right here. Oh, this looks wild. Then he says it's when you take a player as a hostage and pretend to ram him into a wall from behind. That's what it is? Okay. Did not know that. Yeah, so Maple Story, apparently. If Big A says it, then it's probably true. He knows what he's talking about. And then our game that we were talking about earlier was, what's it called again? There it is. Dungeons. DeFi Dungeons. Yeah. If you guys want to check it out.
Which again, you know, they have like a little campaign going on for like 2 weeks or something. So
I'm gonna try.
You want to try to hop on these games, grind them out. Really got nothing else to do anyway.
You made any money off of these games?
No, but I never really. Usually you have to wait till you get to the point where you have to claim the airdrop.
Oh,
and not many of those games really got to that point yet. I did make money on Fishing Frenzy, the fishing game. I made some money on that one I showed you last week where I was like fucking running around like a wild man trying to fucking mine the things.
Right. We watched you make a couple pennies.
Yeah, listen, man, you know, a couple pennies, but then we go on a bull run and, you know, fucking coin 1,000 X's. Next thing you know, $1 1,000. You know what I mean?
Big A's right. All I gotta do is use a VPN and I'd be able to play that game. Apparently my state is locked out.
Yeah, Windscribe, dude.
Mr. B says, is great. I had a suite mate in college. I just call him a roommate. I'm gonna say roommate because I can't say that word. I had a roommate in college who got added to Maple Story and never went to class. We had multiple people try to uninstall and block it, but he kept reinstalling the game. Oh, so it's one of those games. It's like super addictive. You get into it and you don't stop, apparently. He done gave up his whole college career to play Maple Story. Is it that good? I might just see some gameplay on this bad boy.
See, I put my life on hold for a Ark, you know, like the survival game with the dinosaurs and shit.
Yep.
You put that on the blockchain, and I know my boys personally used to make thousands upon thousands of dollars selling dinosaurs and dragons on the PS, where they had to do it like off, you know, like basically trust the person, have to send them, you know, whatever they sold them for, and then meet up in game, give them like a dragon egg. You know what I mean?
Jeez. But
put that shit on the blockchain and let people breed animals and have like all that shit just straight up on the market. Dude, I'd put my life on hold for it.
I'm afraid it would be too addictive. People would get deep into it. I got deep into World of Warcraft for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. I wouldn't say that deep into it, but I played every day. News Now says...
Yeah, you weren't even making money. I mean, I know you can gold farm and sell farm, you know, but that's against terms of service. You could call it, lose your account, but, you know, imagine you can actually make real money like that, you know.
That's going to change
even like off the grid, that's, you know, that could be the game that changes everything still.
Either that or the next big Web3 console game. News Now says, do you have a VeVe account that you go for drops on? I still have my VeVe account. I'm trying to sell my special edition VeVe collectible with serial number 9. Who wants a single digit serial number? Let me know in the chat. I will sell it to you. I've been trying to sell it. I have a few other things. I still got 2 Becky Cloonan Batmans. I still got a Labracorn. I haven't went for a drop in a while though. I guess I should have went for the Saturday drop, but apparently the only one that's above retail is the Secret Rare. However, it did sell out, so it's kind of crazy that it sold out, but the only thing that's above retail is Secret Rare, and the Secret Rare Grogu is like super high priced right now, but a lot of people are saying it's probably like just 4 or 5 whales manipulating the market, which I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's happening. So I wouldn't be buying those for those prices right now because they're just trying to make money any way they can at this point because it's hard to make money on VeVe. DLC says, my buddy used to get paid to level up in WoW. Let's go. It was actually my mom who was like a big WoW player. Her and her husband were deep into WoW. They got me to play it, and they had to teach me how to play. But it was fun. It was a fun game for a while. Big A says,
I never played those games.
You never played World of Warcraft?
And I went to, no, I'm saying like growing up,
Yeah.
I was too busy, getting laid, playing sports.
I did that too.
Yeah. But I hit a time, they don't go hand in hand. But I hit a point, I went to my boy's house when World of Warcraft first came out. And him and my other homie Dom, they're just grinding it, man, grinding. And I just got a job. And I didn't start for like 2.5 weeks for training. And I was like, man, what the hell am I going to do for 2.5 weeks, And my boy was like, oh, buy your copy of this World of Warcraft. And I'm like, I'm not fucking playing. Bro. It went from me being like, fuck this game to like, I'm in the guild chat fucking every time. Ding, ding.
Yes,
I got, And I started so late because they were already like in the 40s and 50s and making their way towards like early endgame and vanilla.
Right.
But here I am, I'm playing the rogue, ding, 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 ding. Got my way up. Then fucking Wrath of the Lich King came out. No, what was the second one?
Lich King was about when I was playing.
The fuck was the first,
I'm not an expert.
I can't remember the
at
first
that.
expansion name anymore. Been so long. But Wrath of the Lich King was my favorite. That was such a good expansion.
Yeah, that was fun. BA says this past week of Off the Grid is at nonstop 1K plus sales on mainnet for items people got for free. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We try to tell people to play it. I know Big A's got a nice little account going because he's been playing like crazy. If they would have had it on the Xbox One available, I would have played it a little bit more. But now that Call of Duty's out, if I'm playing a shooting game, I'm used to playing that anyway. But if I can earn money, I might change my mind. People would.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's
why people will sit down and play it. Plus, Off the Grid's a great game.
Yeah,
it's way better than Call of Duty in my opinion.
It's a fun game. Danny says people would pay him, give him all his passwords and everything. Some people are trusting, I guess. I know people are trusting like that. I mean, I don't until they get ripped off once or twice, then they stop being trusting. But there's definitely a lot of trusting people out there like that. I've met them. I know.
My same homie that got me hooked on WoW, he's actually the one that passed away, and he told me, he's like, yeah, it's like I'm at work right now. It's like I'm gonna go home. My character's gonna be max level by the time I get home. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I paid some little Korean kid to level up my alt account.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like kind of against it. And I'm like, and he was doing tech support at the cable company that we worked at. I wasn't working there at the time, but he was like, bro, he's like, I'm making like $17 an hour and I pay this guy $5 an hour to level me up. He's like, trust me, it's worth my time and my money. He's like, I get to go home, no headaches, no grind. And I'm like, you know what? You put it that way? Fucking hell yeah. Good for both of you, I guess.
I don't know, man. That's half your earnings just for a video game. He says I spent an entire winter one year playing.
No, he's making $17 an hour, paying this kid $5.
Oh, I thought you said 11 an hour. 17?
No, $5.
It's a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's still making $12 an hour, which again back then is more than most people were making working anywhere.
True.
You know what I mean? So he was basically just getting like free work getting done for him.
DDOC says he spent an entire winter one year playing every day. Wife says she was going to divorce me if I played it ever again. Yeah, people get into that. That's why I try not to get into those games anymore because I know they'll be addictive. There's OG Rob T's in the chat. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, my man. Says, what's up, Vault Mo and all. Hope y'all are doing well. I've been telling you about Monero, crypto, the real deal #1 privacy coin. Now it's probably about to take over. Every time somebody tells me something, they'll come back 3 months later and be like, now it's went to the moon, and of course I didn't buy any. But if I buy it,
there ain't nobody coming back talking about Omi telling you that.
True that. That is true. I don't have to worry about that happening. So many people would pay to level up just to PvP and dungeons. That is a good reason to do it if you really want to do the dungeons and stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's what it's all about. Endgame, arena, PvP, like that's what people gave a shit about. But that's how you get your rewards and all your shit for the season. That people know you were good at the game or big shot. So.
All right, check this.
And I don't think I ever had a steady girlfriend either when I played WoW, but that probably goes hand in hand. The more I think about it. Yeah,
I want to have time for both. I got time for that. Unless she
wants
to
women don't
play.
really want to deal with that shit either.
This tweet just came out from a Living Aloha VeVe OG today, where he says they're 30 minutes into the Funko Dungeons and Dragons Series 2 drop, and they've already sold 12,924 mints, 40% of the drop for a gross revenue of $317,000. So, like for the VeVe people out there, here's another NFT platform called Funko. Look at it. Here's what their NFTs look like too. They ain't even that impressive. They're selling out $300,000 worth in a day. And they're just like cards. Like, what's going on with the Funko NFTs? Do you know anything about them?
Chasers, aren't there? Aren't there like crazy chasers for that? And people will pay big dollars for fucking Funko.
Yeah, Living Aloha apparently got a grail out of a premium pack today. I don't know what it's worth, though. I don't know much about that platform.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the cards, but I know like some of them it's like, oh, collect the proper card and we'll send you a physical, you know?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I know there's a lot of Funko physical collectors out there. But I kind of I kind of equated this platform to the same as like those Funkos that the physical ones that I was never really interested in, so I never really checked out this platform. But apparently, they're selling like crazy. Rob T says it will always go up in the long run. Monero, it's a real mind coin, not a meme coin. Oh, I like that kind of stuff. You can only get it on Kraken though in the U.S. Monero got delisted by most major exchanges and government is pretty against it. So tough for it to run a lot since MCAP. So how already? Big A is fudding your Monero, Rob T. Oh, he just fudded you. Oh, they about to go at it. What's up, Ronnie Lido? Good to see you, my man.
Coin war.
Says I'm an hour late. Yeah, we just been chilling and chatting about politics and sports and stuff. Big A, you can buy it with Kraken. It's real crypto. Stop being scared. Ronnie's got some Funko cards, so there are people in the VeVe community collecting on Funko. It got delisted and went down to 99. Now it's 341. That's not top 500. Is it on wax? That's a good question. I don't know if it's on wax. I don't know enough about the Funko platform. I know
Might be.
They look like wax NFTs because they're cards like that. That's kind of what wax does most of the time. So I would not be surprised. But the fact that they're selling out that many, I didn't know they were so popular. Like, where's this community at? Where is the Funko NFT community? Do they have a Discord? Like, there's some VeVe people in there? Like, I want to connect with these people because it's kind of wild to me that Funko is selling 12,924 mints. Is it getting botted? I need more information. That's kind of crazy. Crazy.
If you do go into the Discord, make sure you're a gentleman. Okay, no slander against women and other people. Okay, we want good vault on best behavior.
When I go to Discord servers, I go there to get banned. Big A says March made my 10th year in crypto. Of course, I know what Monero is. I'm just saying the fact it's on so few exchanges, the market cap is so high, it's not going to run as much as other coins can. And let us know what you think, Big A, and I want to ask Mo too. Are we starting a bull run? Because let's see, Bitcoin is up to 100. It's over 100K. Hold on, this is our DM. I've got prices right here. Bitcoin's at 104. Omi is back up to over 0002, which is good to see, I guess. Brett is at 8 cents, and it was at like 2 cents 3 weeks ago. Solana's at 182. People are saying Ethereum's going to run now. Its all-time high is over 4,000. But if Bitcoin's already up over 104, the question is it going to go so high that it goes into price discovery? And is this going to start a whole new bull run? And if it does start a whole new bull run, are we going to get altcoins running? Are we going to get an NFT run again? Are we going to get a VeVe run again? Like, what's going to happen from here?
Well, I don't want people to think, oh yeah, Mo's just jumping on the fucking wagon. He's just going along with the flow. Fuck you. Bring up Mo and Tell for a second. This is my Twitter account, May 12th. Today feels like a good day for a run. A market run. All the signs were there. Double bottoms, multiple tests. We tested so many fucking areas and broke through fucking barriers. If you want, I can even bring this up to show you what the hell I'm talking about. Bada bing, where the fuck is it? There it is.
All I see is where you retweeted Informant. That's a boo for me. Boo this man.
Oh, wait.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's above that. That's above that. Listen, okay? I have my own friends. But yeah, I did tweet that out. That was 2 days ago. Like I said, mainly because I track Solana, Crown, Bitcoin. Those are my main three. And the fact that Ethereum was actually higher for the first time, that Bitcoin crossed 100K in a long time, might actually be the main catalyst here. So you can see we're actually moving into an ascending triangle here. I kind of thought we might start to fuck around until tomorrow night, but it looks like we're just busting right through already. So I am definitely curious to see what happens here. All signs do lead to a run. Like I said earlier, I don't think meme coins are the play. I think AI, I think Web3 gaming is going to be huge. I think the gun token is going to be making people rich.
Do you have some gun token?
Nope.
That's the off the grid token. I'm not even sure how to get it.
That is the off the grid token. Yeah.
What's up,
Yeah,
Ryan?
there are some ways to get it. I think I might have attempted it. Maybe I did buy some.
I'd like to buy some. Ronnie Lido says I was out fixing a graffiti piece. 2 people tagged
That got me
over in
thinking.
less than a week of me spraying it. Oh my goodness, where are you at? Where you got people tagging stuff? That would be annoying. He made a really cool mural, and some people came and graffitied it, probably with some whack art too. They're on Wax. Okay, so that's where the Funko's on. I didn't even know people were still buying stuff on Wax. I still have a Wax account. I still got my Nike cards. Government was also against Bitcoin back in the day. The fact you talk about Omi and not Montero is worse. Big A says it was, but they're going at it about Monero. I'll let y'all just go at it. Diddy says Exchange is changing. Exchange is changing its name in Canada to Forest Dax. Oh, okay. I saw a documentary once. I think I mentioned it a couple of times about crypto in Canada and their first crypto exchange and how it was like this huge scam. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was a really good documentary that's on Netflix. Shout out to OG Ryan in the chat. You'll always have private, not a mural. Oh, okay, my bad.
What do you feel about the current market? You think so remember a few weeks ago, after all the tariff stuff and the world was ending, a lot of money got moved out of the main markets into crypto, right? You saw a little bit of a run, but then we had, I don't know if you saw my chart, it looked like a lot of money went back from crypto back into the main markets. Now that they think with the deals and everything, it might start to settle, so it might not be as bad as they thought. What do you think? Do you think we're going to see a run? And if you, what do you think is going to run?
Oh no, I think the economy is in big trouble, and as soon as the empty shelves start showing up, prices are going to crash the stock market. Crypto's going to follow the stock market. I think we're in for a hurting. I mean, these are just idiotic economic policies, and they're hurting us more than they're hurting anybody else. And the other country, I mean, corporations are not going to build entire factories that take 3 years to build and millions of dollars whenever they're uncertain about whether or not they need to build that, because they don't know if the tariffs are going to stay, or they're going to be gone in 30 days, they're going to come back in 9 days, or they're going to come back in 4 years. So it's too much uncertainty for the market to be stable and to run, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just need more companies to do what GM did. That's pretty much it. Because if we got every company to do that and eliminate corporate greed, probably wouldn't be that bad. But chances of that happening, we'll see. I was just curious what you thought about the crypto market itself.
Ronnie Lido says all the tagging is for territory games, so people are tagging their clique, their gang. Don't misunderstand. I love Monero privacy and what it represents. I'm just saying from strictly a gains point of view, yeah, there's too many things that could run more than that. It was just a graffiti piece. Still, it's art. Big A looks at it gains since inception. All right. No worries. I have many tricks up my sleeves to bypass the taggers. You can do some invisible ink. Have you thought about that? It was going to happen either way. I painted Lito, the size of about 50 feet long by 7 feet high. Right on. Pretty much. Lito. Let's see. Denny says pretty much no longer allowed to trade crypto in Canada. Yeah, Canada is really touchy about crypto after that first exchange ended up being a big scam. You can still buy and swap it, but no real trading allowed. There's a lot of restrictions in New York too, like certain exchanges.
Yeah,
everybody else in America except for New York can use. Sandbox says there's a good chance for a run until June or July or August when the tariffs are priced in. Tariffs are not priced in for the first quarter. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, not only with the tariffs, but also with healthcare. I mean, this stuff that Robert Kennedy's doing right now can be a little bit scary. He's kind of pushing some pseudoscience, and the pseudoscience is going to be the new science, and regular science is going to be pseudoscience. So I don't know, are we all going to die? Are we all going to get?
I mean, removing a lot of this shit from our foods though that weren't there from the get-go. Like, can we admit and agree that these kids look way different now than they did when we were growing up?
I mean, if you go and buy a bed from the 1940s, it's going to be like 6 to 10 inches shorter than a bed that you would buy right now, because people back then were shorter. Just in general, we are evolving. Beds back then are shorter, literally.
Shorter, I guess. I'm trying to think, like, I'm going back as far as pictures I can remember in my family, like, people look normal. Like, I didn't see, like, just, like...
Purple hair?
Huh?
Purple hair?
No, it just looked normal. Like just like normal builds, normal people. Yeah, I guess maybe if they were both a little bit shorter, that you wouldn't notice it. But I'm saying when it comes to like builds and just like overall genetics, it just looked way different. And even growing, like I said, 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't know. It just seemed like going into the 2000s and then 2010s, man. Like looking at these kids, and I'm like, that motherfucker's 13. Like we had one kid with a fucking mustache when I was growing up. Now I feel like you're like in the minority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are a lot of kids that look a lot older these days. That's true. And that's probably because they're going through puberty faster, and it probably has to do with some of the stuff that they're putting in our food. So, I mean, I think it's good that we regulate our food, but I think the current administration wants to deregulate. I don't know what Robert F. Kennedy, he's on some craziness, but when it comes to regulations, they're against regulations right now. They're trying to deregulate as much as possible to save the corporations as much money as possible. I mean, it's all about deregulation in the Trump administration. So, I mean, that's what stops us from having too many bad chemicals in our food. So one of the things that they just did was they fired all the people, I think in the EPA, that were under the lead protection. So there was some city that recently had a lead outbreak in their water or whatever, and they called the EPA and was like, we need help. You guys usually help us when people have lead problems. And they're like, they just fired all of us. There's nothing we can do for you. So now those people are just going to have lead in their water. So, I mean, that's the problem with deregulation.
There's nobody in that town that can handle lead in the water?
I don't know. Maybe they need to hire somebody, I guess. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I've never ran a whole entire town.
That's what I think kind of the problem is that they're trying to fix. They're trying to expose the fact that it's like people don't know what the fuck they're doing nowadays. And it extends from towns to fucking states to fucking shit. Even people when I go to a business trying to get help, it's like pulling teeth, man. That's why we have automation.
Shout out to Envy Assassins in the chat. What's up, Envy Assassins? Do you think VeVe is dead? I think VeVe is dead, yes. I mean, that's why they're firing people. Like, it's all downhill from here, in my opinion. It could be wrong, though. Not financial advice. Sell in May and walk away.
I think VeVe...
a big saying in crypto. I would not go with any type of crypto cycles. I would not pay attention to any type of cycles because crypto's only been around long enough to have, like, 3 cycles. So the idea of cycles is it's a hypothesis in the first place. It's just a theory. I don't even believe in cycles. I think everything's going to depend on what the administration does from here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could always affect it for sure. But I mean, we have seen a lot of the same, telltale signs before a lot of these pumps, whether it be, triple tests or double bottoms or what the fuck you want to call them, inverted head and shoulder. I mean, there's so many different...
Yeah, but there's a lot of times where those same dudes be looking at charts and seeing the triple bottom shoulder crap and being like, next thing it's supposed to go up, and it doesn't go up, and then they just move on to the next one, and like, this one didn't go up when it's supposed to go up, and then they move on to the next one. This one did go up. Look, I was right. So
because normally you can find a rhyme and reason, because just because it hits the triple test doesn't mean anything until it actually goes up higher than where those original tests were. So once you break that, then you're gonna catch a retrace, and if that retrace stays higher, that's a good catalyst for a run. But a lot of times when they're looking at those triple bottoms, and I see people on Twitter all the time, yeah, you got to go to that chart 6 hours later and see that it tested for the 4th time and got rejected. And I always explain to my homie like this, like, if you ask a chick out, you ask her once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, you're probably going to go away. You know what I mean? Most people might stop after 2. But in this world, like, triple test isn't really uncommon. So, I don't know, to me, that's what I look for. And that's usually what indicates, when we're going to see a run.
DLC says, I have a feeling
pretty happy last week. Sorry, go ahead.
One piece of bad news away from a huge market crash. Maybe.
Every day is a piece of bad news.
We do get a lot of bad news these days. Big A says, my portfolio is 75% Bitcoin and Ethereum. Vault's seen my biggest wallet. Memes I hold are just 12K of, we'll call it COQ. I spent like 4K on. Yes. He's big on the avalanche stuff, which is smart. I like base meme coins, but I'm a noob. Big A says, I only play meme launches. That's smart. I mean, if you know how to play the meme launches these days, you can just get in and get out and just double your money every time. This past week, I got Arrow pre-sale for $240, sold at launch for $1,300, bought Arena app token that's now worth $2,700. Those are my meme coin plays. Big A's doing it big. Y'all need to follow Big A's moves. Follow his wallet. Rob T says,
Big A's good. Big A's good. The problem is he sends me too much shit because we're so friendly that I'm always like, I lost money on the last 2. I skipped this one. That's the one where he's like, bro, I got fucking 25,000X. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. But no, he definitely knows his shit.
Shout out to Illmatics, a fellow fudder, says, VeVe has been dead since my collectibles joined. Too many shady people. Time time to sell everything. I mean, it's not a horrible idea to hold on to a few things for 10 to 20 years from now. I doubt that you're going to even be able to access them 10 to 20 years from now. But if you are, and NFTs are a big thing, and they're the first on the blockchain, and that came to fruition, then they're going to be worth a lot of money. But I think the chances are less than 10%.
All right, so even let's say, let's live in that 10% world for a second. Fast forward 10 years, NFTs blow up. What's the one collectible you're going to hold, or you're going to be happy that you held? Chat, you too. Like, what's going to be that one collectible you get 10 years down the road? You're like, I'm glad I held on to this because I'm about to sell it for a shit ton of money. What would it be?
I'm going to say Todd Batman over partner statue. One of those two, probably.
It's a good one. I still need a partner statue if I'm going to stick around this VeVe bullshit, but yeah, I probably agree with you on that. Chat, what do we think?
I know some people will say Marvel Comics #1, or maybe Marvel Comics Secret Rare, or Amazing Fantasy 15. And I kind of like those ideas too, because ever since they announced that they were going to start dropping Marvel comic NFTs, to me it felt like the same thing as baseball cards, because those have comparables in the physical world that have value. Yep. So you can kind of tie that value into the digital asset. But I mean, the fact that the edition sizes are so high, I don't necessarily know that that's going to be true in the future or not.
You know, the one thing I would be happy I held, Superman #1.
Is that the DC Palm comic?
Mm-hmm.
Probably smart, yeah.
If they become interoperable, we can send them out to a main wallet at some point. That's going to be the one thing I'm glad I held. And I have 4 of them.
Jeez, what rarities do you have?
2 uncommon, our favorites, and 2 commons.
Bro,
no,
you have to
sell me one of your
common,
a rare.
I need one.
I have a common, a rare, and 2 uncommons.
Dang, how much are the uncommons worth? Do you know? You might have to sell me one at some point.
I don't even check.
That's what the one uncommon I don't have. But the price is low enough.
I don't even check them.
Might be able to buy them. I know there was a couple drops actually on. Well, I guess it's not even Candy anymore. It's Futureverse now. So I don't even know how they do their drops. But before they got purchased by Futureverse, there were a couple drops that were worth going for. You could buy them, not even open up the blind box and sell the blind box for a profit. So people have been doing that. So I'm kind of surprised that they sold out to Futureverse, because I thought Candy.com was even, above VeVe. Like, they were a little more professional looking. They had, they had their stuff separated with WWE, and then they had NASCAR, and they had MLB. So it seemed like they were big time. So it's kind of crazy. Do they sell out all of their brands as WWE now on Futureverse too, and MLB?
I don't know about the WWE. I only went for like the Freeman stuff on there that I got.
Right.
And I think I sold some of it. Made some money early on, but
smart.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like we just need this whole wave to take off. So, and we talked about it before. If you go back to the world like video games came out 71, 72 with the Magnavox, and it really wasn't until 78, 79 with the Atari. Like, everyone was like, "Oh, video games a joke. It's a fad. It's for losers." You know what I'm saying? Same thing people say about NFTs and Web3. But eventually it took over, and now look at it, right? It's like the highest fucking grossing form of entertainment. So
true.
It very easily could swing the other way overnight, where it's like, oh shit, gotta hop on Futureverse or AKA Candy or PC, Palm or whatever the case, whatever it was called. People will come back. We'll be sitting there like, hey, I still own the shit. And I never actually got to expose my sniping tactic for DC. I never told you. I never told anybody.
Okay,
my tactic on there was unbeatable.
What'd you do? Because it was kind of hard to snipe on there.
Oh, no, it wasn't. So what I would do is I would take the comic that I wanted. So, for instance, when Superman came out, I was sniping whatever rarity, and I would load it up. But the problem with DC is you had to scroll down and deal with the buttons, right? I turned my monitor long ways. And I used a pop-up blocker to disable all the elements on the page, except the listings and the buy button.
Wow.
It had nothing to load. It loaded instantly. I saw every listing before everybody.
Oh my goodness.
That's why when Superman was up to like 5 something for the common, there was still dumbasses. Because remember back on that marketplace, it would show the old listing for a while.
Yep.
And people would think like, oh, it's I can't buy it, but it's still $199, so I'm gonna put mine for $219.
Right.
And I was just coming in, fucking scooping them up. or they would get frozen. That's what would happen. The listing would get frozen. So people would still think the floor price was $199, not realizing it was bugged.
Yep.
And I would just come in. I was scooping fucking Superman commons for like $219 when the fucking going price was like $475 to $550.
Jeez.
Yep. And nobody ever beat me on those snipes. That was I was so pissed when they fucking moved off of that platform, dude. Killed me.
He said he turned his monitor sideways so he could get all of it. That's smart. That's a good way to do it. Alejandro said there's been a few good drops on candy. The MLB stuff has been pretty good too. Yeah, MLB stuff's been hot. Mo did really well.
Candy, I also did well on HRO. I was sniping those action comic cards for like $10-11, selling for $150.
I never got on the hero market much at all. No, I was buying the physical cards and just holding on to them and not scanning them or anything. I should have got on there and did the sniping. I saved all my sniping for VeVe markets, but all right,
that's the only money I put in were the physical boxes that I bought on HRO. I started HRO with $15 and I turned that into like a fucking $25,000 empire.
Jeez.
I sold my Mythic Joker. Was it Mythic? The orange one? What the fuck they were?
I don't remember.
I sold that digital, and then the dude wanted the physical at the same time, so I had like no low mint. I jacked up the price on them, and I wound up selling them both.
I remember I sold one of the Series 1 misprints.
Some shit like that.
Sold one of the misprints on eBay for like $500. Big A says we were here on Vault's live stream for Superman 1 drop. Yeah, and I didn't even get the drop. Never got the buy, but I missed out too. That was a rough drop because that was a really good comic.
I missed a buy on that too.
But I learned everything from that drop, and from that drop forward, we did Chrome Gate, and we got everything. Kryptoni's in the house. What's up, Kryptoni? Is this MoKnowz has been doxxed? Yes, he is out from behind the animated.
I've been doxxed for a decade. People just never watch my content.
Yeah, you can see him on his own channel for a long time now. Mine, Mo's Knicks versus your Pacers incoming, Vault. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen because they're both up 3-1. So
that's true.
I highly expect that to happen.
You're gonna like me even more, or even less than you already do now. You're a Trumper. You're gonna hate the Knicks.
A Trumper and a Knicker. I'm not gonna like him at all. I'll better not call you that. But yeah. We do plan on going to one of the games though, if they do end up playing each other. Probably like. I think
really? I can't.
Knicks will have home
I can't
court.
afford that, especially at the Garden. Hell no.
Yeah, the Garden would be expensive. Yeah, before we wrap up, though, let's do what our what are you watching? Were you watching anything interesting this week, Mo?
Oh, let's see. I am currently still binging Parks and Rec. I don't know if I talked about that last week.
I love me some Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, I did. We did talk about it. We talked about Indiana.
Yep.
Still watching that, but I will say this: I'm in season 5, and I'm not gonna do spoilers or anything in case people plan on watching it, even though it's been out for a decade. I'm kind of like off of it on season 5. It's losing me. I might just stop watching it. Get back to my Ancient Aliens. I got tons of seasons of that left to watch.
Yeah, they keep making more and more of those.
Yeah, and I'm going back and I'm rewatching Roseanne because the Connors is now wrapping up, and I'm like 2 seasons behind on the Connors. So I'm gonna start with Roseanne, go all the way through, and then just blast through the Connors again, and see how that ends.
Nice. Yeah, I like Roseanne. I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. Big A says, I looked at Mo's old content years ago, and he had his face on just 2 videos, one really short, a COD match. Yeah, I went back and looked for his face, like, through a few videos. I couldn't find it. I was like, I'm not going to look through it. I don't care.
On YouTube, really?
I'll meet him in real life and just see it for myself.
Well, there was a time where we privated a lot of shit for brand reasons, because we did a lot of wild shit on camera back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and things were, weed wasn't legal back then either in New York.
Oh, yikes.
So I had to be real careful because if people even knew I was in New York smoking weed on camera, I can get a lot of trouble. So, but now it's like it's legal, so.
Now everybody does it. Yeah, I've just I've just been watching the NBA playoffs. I'll tell the story, though, about what I tweeted about yesterday. My kid keeps telling me, I guess they're advertising this on TikTok to these kids now about the betting apps, because everybody has betting apps now, and he keeps coming there and saying, download one of these betting apps, just bet on the game. And he's like, I'll do it with my own money. I'm like, no, we can't bet. Gambling is bad. Don't be betting, blah, blah. So he keeps agging me on. So finally I'm like, all right, I'll download one. We'll put in $10. I'm going to show you how fast money goes when you bet. So we put in $10 to this betting app, and he comes up with his bet. It ended up only costing $7. So he's like, put the last $3 on some bet. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to bet on some long shot here. The first person to score the game. So, you got like a 10-to-1 chance to actually get it right. And
Yep, I'll see. I lose you. Yo.
Yeah, Mike went out on me. My bad. No, anyway, but
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
my favorite player was in the game, so I picked him to get the first score, and of course he did. So we were up like $30, and we've been doing little bets here on the playoff games, doing some single game parlays, and finally a couple of days ago we cashed out like $300. So I did not teach him the lesson about how you lose your money so fast if you start betting, but at least he learned to quit when you're ahead and cash out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we had gambling issues in my family growing up.
Yeah,
My dad would always give me these telltale stories of, but he was always, listen, if you ever get abundance of money, half, pay your bills. If you want to take the other half, you got extra money and just have some fun, whatever.
It's
But,
like crypto. Never gamble what you're not willing to lose.
yep, exactly. But if it gets to the point where it's like, do I have to gamble or pay my bills? Definitely don't gamble. Gamble or eat. I'd probably say eat, but then again, look at me. I eat once a day. It's by design.
Maybe you can miss
Eating's
a meal.
overrated.
Kryptoni says, I'm waiting on the Sopranos reboot. I did not know that was a thing. It starts with Tony Soprano as a kid. I never saw the Sopranos in the first place, so...
That's a good show.
I figured you saw it. I think it all takes place in New York. Big A says, oh yeah, he had
Jersey.
the Adam Sandler song, Hanukkah song. So drink your
Oh yeah, I
gin
forgot we covered the Hanukkah song.
and smoke your
Time for
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Gonna be hearing about Monero in the future from all of you. I never heard of Monero. If I start hearing other people besides Rob T talk about Monero, then I'm gonna perk up and be like, man, it's time to get into Monero. But I'm gonna wait until I hear at least a second person mention it, Rob, and then I'm jumping in.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You got
Time to
anything
get
planned for
ill.
this week, Mo?
Good segue actually, because I was gonna ask you one more time. Go back to Mo and Tell for me.
Gotcha.
So yesterday, tweeted this out. I've been pretty quiet on PFL. I had a little bit of a ranting and raving going on, and some of the changes, and I wasn't really on board. But then they went back and they reverted real quick, which they don't normally do. So, Mo knows, who knew. So anyway, I decided I'm seeing all these people come in. They're taking advice from the weirdest of people, and I'm pulling up the people's accounts that are giving advice, and I'm like, "You're down $100,000 lifetime." I pull up the next person giving advice. You're down 60,000. You're down 190,000. Like, how the fuck do you even sustain that? I was like, you know what? Let me just go screenshot mine. And this is just a little bit of an idea. Oh, my tweet basically just says, I taught people 2 years how to play photo finish. I don't have a major win. I started from B horses, low grade, did it my way, but I can't complain with the results, right? And listen, I don't really pocket watch because I don't give a fuck what other people are doing. You know how I am.
Right.
If you're not bothering me, like, I'm not gonna really get in your shit,
Yep.
But now it's starting to bother me because people are coming in and they're leaving the game, and then when I hit them up, they're telling me about their experience, and I'm like, that is not good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, I just told you most of the people's accounts I'm clicking on, they're down 40, 60, 90, 140,000. Occasionally I'll find someone who might only be down 1,000 or 2, And when I talk to these people, they're like, well, I had extra crypto money and I made a shit ton of money on Bonk or Blowjob, wherever fucking coin was going around, right? Keep in mind, I started PFL with $400. That's it. I've never raced in a major. I run stakes races, but I pretty much do what I do with what I have. I'm up 5,500 lifetime. This is within 2 years. 10,000 of Crown. That's at the current price. If Crown 10x is just whatever. And that's just what I earn. That's not what I hold. I actually hold 195,000 Crown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm up 34,000. And again, this is all public information. I'm not bragging here. Okay. Anybody can pull up anybody's fucking account on PFL and look at it. I'm just doing this to show people that people want to talk shit about me and they want to fucking be like, oh, Bigfoot, he's not a big stable. And yet these motherfuckers are down 50K. Okay. I'm up 5,500 racing. I'm up 9,600 in Crown just from earning Crown on the racing itself. That's what I've earned. I'm up 34,000 in horse sales. Okay. And I'm only down in the hole 3,000 in breeding fund. That's what I pay to breed my horses. Now I have two horses that sell out pretty much every month, at least one. So that's just going to be more revenue coming in that basically covers all my breeding, right? So my net breeding earnings should actually go the other way and get me into positive eventually. This is what I tell people. If you want to learn how to play this fucking game correctly, I'm bringing back Friday night at the races. It's unsanctioned. I want nothing to do. I don't want to be on the homepage. I don't want anybody retweeting me from the fucking team. They can if they want, but I don't want to have anybody fucking honing in on what I'm doing. I want to get on there. I want to help people make money and stop fucking leaving the game. And if I got to talk shit about certain people, I don't want people yelling at me, being like, oh, you can't do that because you're on the homepage. You know what I mean?
Well, what are you going to do it on Twitch, Kick?
Yes. So so now we're on Kick, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. I got a new plugin for OBS so I can go to all three. We'll be going to TikTok and Twitter. So we'll be doing 5 platforms total.
Yeah, definitely make sure you do YouTube because I feel like a lot of the photo finish people are on YouTube.
Yep. Oh, YouTube's for sure. I have to work on getting my TikTok affiliate. I have to get like approved through them, but apparently I just apply. I'm working on that. And then Twitter, I just have to pay $10 a month for their premium shit.
Yep.
And I could stream on there. So, but whatever. If it gets more people, more eyes on PFL, I'll do it. Anyway, that's where we're at.
I think you have to have a certain amount of followers before you can stream on Twitter too.
I did stream on Twitter though for a while. Unless that changed recently.
There's some requirements I know that you have to go through before you can stream. So make sure you check on that before you pay for the blue check.
Good call. Yeah, like I said, we what shows? We did it as a test with because PFL was asking me like, oh, why don't we stream to Twitter? And I was like, oh, let's try it. So I know we've done it. And I did it for multiple shows. Yeah, whether or not they changed that. But last time I tried to stream to it, it told me I need a premium account to get my key. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Coming back to PFL. I did have a minor infection like in my bloodstream and shit from all the shit going on in my mouth.
Yep.
So that might have been affecting my brain a little bit the more I think about it. Because I was flipping out. And normally I get, crazy a little bit, but I was like angry. It didn't feel like me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that stuff
so
kind of affects you.
Well, yeah, 100%. That's what I went to the doctor and the dentist and they're telling me this shit. So I don't know, I'm feeling a little more clear-headed. So
yeah, so if you guys want to check out Mo's live streams on Fridays, you can follow him on Twitter. The Twitter is in the description at MoKnowz with the Z, or just follow him on YouTube and turn on those notifications. Yep. And if you think that we're about to have a bull run, or you like the Solana blockchain, or you like horse racing, Photo Finish Live might be a good platform to start getting into before it's early, before we have a bull run, before everybody's playing NFT games, because this is one of the best looking NFT games out there right now, and like I said, it's on the Solana blockchain.
Yes, and keep in mind that obviously like every other coin, Crown plummeted, whatever, it is bouncing nice like everything else. And the wagering, the gambling's coming I think next month.
Oh, nice.
Or within the next month or two. They tested it at the Derby. I heard it went well. Yeah, so once the wagering hits, you're gonna have Crown buybacks coming from the team because of the way that it goes through the wagering system. It basically, people are gonna like bet with fiat. It does the auto conversion on the back end, turns it into Crown, does a burn. Then when they get paid out, it does it the opposite way. So it's gonna be multiple transactions, which is also gonna help the on-chain data for PFL in general.
Yep.
So if that happens and all the buybacks are coming from the Crown pool that's already fully exhausted and out there circulating, that means the price can only go up, right? So, a lot of people I talk to about the horse racing, they're like, oh, can I gamble on it? And I'm like, well, it's coming. And they're like, oh, well, let me know when that comes. Whereas I'm like, I like the breeding, the racing. Like, this is one of my horses right here. I got that horse that sells out every month, 1 second Screw. This is his son, Little Screw. Nice. So he's been pretty successful as a 3-year-old now, I think. And we'll see if he can make a move here and win this race. But not looking good.
Ronnie Lido says I'm going to get back into it a little by accident, too. I may be able to add a little more money if you could help me find a better horse, Mo. That's what Mo does.
Yep, I've already talked to Ronnie. Like I said, now you got the claimer game. People can go on, claim a horse for $5 that was misraced, and you can make thousands upon thousands with it. It's happened.
Yeah, I still have my Crown. I don't have a lot of Crown, but I have my Crown staked in one of the one of the racetracks, and it's been staked for months and months. I haven't even checked on it. It's probably grown quite a bit.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Like I said, just every month you'll get paid out on it. Me personally, I'm not selling Crown at 11, 12 cents, whatever
Nah.
it's bouncing up to now.
No way.
There's no shot. There's I did sell a bunch of $2. I sold a lot at $1 on the way down. I didn't sell any at 50 cents, which I regret. But I mean, my car, my teeth, I didn't have to work for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
just from this stupid little game. So
Shout out to Thanu in the chat. What's up, Thanu? We're just wrapping up things for our Tuesday show. This is our Tales from the Crypto show we do every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are interested in Photo Finish Live, I've got the link to their website down in the description. I also got a few horses over there. I haven't had time to look at any type of crypto stuff recently. I know, and I guess apparently that Monero is a top 25 coin, and I'm acting like I've never heard of it. Nobody's heard of it before. I never heard of Monero. I'm a noob. If it was like, I don't know, Ethereum or something, maybe I heard of it. That's about it. I don't know a lot.
Yo no soy no Monero.
All right, everybody, it's about time to wrap it up. If there's any cool VeVe drops this weekend, I might go live for it. Although there's a lot of yard sales this Saturday, so I probably won't be live for the drop. However, we'll be back.
That's the content we need, brother.
What, yard sale content?
Yep. I know you said you were gonna.
I want to.
Do the channel and. I know you gotta deal with the people going there and getting they're all weird about the cameras.
Yeah, I feel embarrassed going up in there with a camera, but I might start making content to do with flipping on eBay because I've been making a lot of money on it. So maybe if I can get my computer working for me. But shout out to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you guys for hanging out and for participating. Shout out to Mo for co-hosting. Appreciate you, Mo. And everybody have a good week.
Oh yeah. Peace.